Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 39 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. We are running through the SOAP framework. We're actually on step 4, P for progress in the framework today. I'm going to talk about a couple of tools that help me and will help you as well to know whether we're making progress or not. How are we going to know if we don't measure it or have some way to document what's going on with where we are right now and our journey in order to keep track of that we are making progress. And so we can celebrate those little wins along the way. So Kelly's story, we continue with Kelly, yes, throughout this whole SOAP framework. And what she's doing, and I'm going to grab my notes and a big magnifying glass so I can see what I've got here. She is first and foremost doing a confidence journal. So she's writing in her journal every single day, and she's tracking things like a situation that she's stepped up and actually confidently behaved and took action in, anything like that, how it felt during and after that experience, any feedback that she's getting from anyone that has anything to do with her confidence. She's taking it with a grain of salt, taking it for the lessons learned, taking it for just exactly what it is. It's just feedback. It's just one other person's interpretation of how you handled an event or how you did something, and that includes compliments, good things that people say. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you spoke up about that in the meeting today because I had that same exact thing on my mind. And then she'll also realize that everything that happens for her, not against her, and that it's usually for our personal. This is true for each and every one of us. Everything that happens in our life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, happens for us. And sometimes it doesn't feel that way. Okay, all the negative things, it usually doesn't feel that way at first, right? And it's only after you've had time to ruminate on it, think about it, and grow from the experience that we look back and we say, oh my God, that's one of the best things that ever happened to me. Some of the best things that ever happened to me were getting fired, right? Getting fired in my corporate career. Felt like the worst thing in the world at the time, but it's because I wasn't the right fit person for the role that I was filling in those organizations. And I knew it long before I was ever let go or I ever left a company. I joke that I have a 3-year cycle. I'm really, really interested in a job or an opportunity or something for like 3 years. And then I fix it. I fix everything I have the ability to fix. And then I want to move on to something different. Well, there's got to be a name for that. So Kelly is doing a confidence journal. Our tool today is also not only, I am a big fan of journaling because it helps us to keep track of the progress that we're making just by making note in it. It doesn't have to be every day, but I'm going to say if you're not a journaler, start out by doing something in it every single day till it becomes a go-to tool for you. Journaling is super easy. You grab a notebook, whatever kind of notebook feels good for you. And it's why I keep a journal. I guess you could call this a journal for every annual challenge. I keep a journal and do the action steps right along with you. Why? Because I want to grow and be a better person too. I want to get my goals. I want to make sure that I'm impacting the world in a positive way. And stop getting cold. Okay, so a courage journal is a little bit different. It is where we document every time we stretch our comfort zone. And I think it's a really powerful one. It's like keeping my success file. Some people keep a success journal. I keep a little success file. Started doing it back in corporate America when I worked in some cultures and environments that were not very positive and definitely were not good for me. I would keep, cards and notes and things from people that made me feel good about the job I was doing there. And I just kept them in a file, in a folder. And I still have that in a box somewhere here. I'd have to look around for it. It might be in my storage unit. Yes, I have a storage unit still. It's going on 5 years now. I think maybe this summer I'll have to deal with that. Or we'll choose to deal with that. I don't have to. I could keep it in there probably forever and then let it get auctioned off someday when I pass away. But I don't think I want to do that. There's some cool stuff in there. So she's in her confidence. I'm going back and forth today. So in her confidence journal, she's keeping and taking notes of how she feels about different situations and scenarios that she's getting involved in. She's documenting and keeping track of feedback from her mentor because she already lined up a mentor, which is awesome, by the way. And her mentor will help coach her, and then she can document and journal the coaching and then how she acts on the coaching, because guess what? Mentors don't like it if you don't act on the coaching that they give you. When you go to them for advice and to help you solve a problem and to grow, if you never follow up and you don't do the things that they recommend or explain how you tweak the things that they recommend and what you actually did and the results you got, they get burnt out. People love to help other people, but only if you're helping yourself as well, right? She'll also keep before and after list, meaning, is she speaking up more in meetings? Is she not? Is she, and tracking little subjective things, but also measurable. I mean, you can put little hatch marks on every staff meeting that you spoke up in, or put a little S by it, whatever works for you, to visually see your progress. Is she saying yes to opportunities? Are you saying yes to opportunities? Am I saying yes to opportunities? Is she less annoyed? I want to say annoyed by getting feedback or about resistance, because a couple things come up whenever we're making a change. Excitement comes up, right? That's the first thing we feel. That's what helps us to say yes to anything. And then we have this realization that, oh my God, I said yes to that. Now what am I going to do? What if the worst in the world happens? And we all go through that resistance mode before we actually start taking action and move forward in whatever it is, the challenge that we're facing. So confidence journal, courage journal is slightly different in that we're just documenting the times we stretch our comfort zone. It's why I like to mush journals together, because I have different types of journals. I do a gratitude journal. I do, I'm going to start doing a courage journal because I've never done that before. I think that's a cool idea and a way to document. But I think I'll just incorporate it into one of my other journals or my daily journaling practice, just because the last thing I need is one more book to have to write in around my house. And that feels heavier to me, to have to start a whole nother journal than just combine it with my gratitude journal, for example, because I am grateful every time I push my comfort zone and step out and do something different and improve my confidence. I don't know if you feel grateful about that, but I sure as heck do. So I'll probably combine it with my gratitude journal, because that's something to look at every night and every day. I'm already in the habit of doing gratitude every day, so it's pretty easy to add on, okay, confidence and courage. Where did I show courage today? Where did I act confidently in spite of being afraid to act? That brings those two together. So our action item today is to determine, how are you going to measure when you're making progress or not? And I think of confidence as a subjective skill, right? It's a subjective thing. So we have to find a little bit more concrete ways to measure that and see our progress. I mean, some of the most fun things I'll do is I'll go back and I'll look at one of my journals from, say, 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And I just shake my head and I think, oh my gosh, have I come a long way? And that's really powerful on the days where we feel like we're stuck or we're struggling with something, to go back and review. That's why I have kept for so long the success file. Some days, guess what? The world eats away at us and we just need something to remind us, just like everybody else, we are awesome. All right, that's all I've got today. Any questions, you can ask anytime. Hit me up, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Have a great day.